That I've struggled almost my whole life. I used to not being able to recognize when people were using me or not until it was my moment and I needed them to show up and they never did. And then that's when I realized how the dynamic was. So I think I'm in a really good position to just talk about this real quick. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to my channel. My name is Oriana and I'm just here to speak from my heart, friend. Okay, so let's burn some incense to get into the mindset and let's talk about it. I don't know, incense always get me into this almost meditative state. How do you know when you're being used by people? That's a really good question because sometimes not only we have to show up, it's just like we want to show up for them because we love them and we need them and we appreciate them, right? I'm not talking about those times where you have to or want to go above and beyond. But when it's not balanced, and let me explain what I mean by that. Sometimes with some relationships, either with some family members, some friends, they need or they want more that we can offer. No, let me rephrase that. They want all we can offer, but they don't know how to reciprocate. So when it's your turn, they don't know how to take your feelings or you into consideration because they only think about themselves. I've seen this many times, including myself in the past, where I used to go above and beyond for people. And I used to get mad at them because they would not reciprocate everything I've done for them. But also I realized that was pretty selfish. Why, you might ask, that's pretty selfish? Because I'm doing something from a place where I need them to do it back to me. It's like I'm showing them how I want to be treated so they can treat me that way. It wasn't genuine. And I was in a position where I had to do more for them. So I can show them, so I can teach him, instead of seeing how things truly were, or how they are used to treating people, or how they genuinely are. So I used to engage with this idea of I'm gonna show them and change them how to be because I want them to be X, Y, and Z, and they're not it yet. We have to grow up. I'm sorry to say it that way, but we have to grow out of that mindset. That's not good for anybody involved. They are how they are and they're showing you how they are. And you either accept it or not. Maybe you can set boundaries and be like, hey, this is how I want to be treated. I like to get gifts. I like to do this. I like for you to show up for me as well. And when it comes to those moments, they don't do it because they don't have the capabilities of doing it. You cannot get mad. You can just move on. Some people are just not built for that, you know? Some people never had that in childhood, never had that need to take care of anybody else. But not because of that, you are gonna give them permission to neglect you either. That's not how things work. It's not your job or your responsibility to finish raising grown-ass adults. It's not your job or responsibility to teach them and make them a better person. They have to go through the rock bottom. They have to get to a place by themselves where they're like, yeah, I need to change or anything, or my life is ruined. You cannot just show them that. Then they're gonna resent you. And then you're gonna be the bad guy. Who wants to be the bad guy? Let it be. Or if you want to take the spiritual route, you can just change and manifest them as you want them to show up. But if you're used to be treated a certain way, you're gonna keep manifesting the same way until you learn your lesson. Do yourself a favor and know your value. When you understand that your presence, your energy, you being considerate, everything has a currency. It doesn't have to do with money, but like energetically as well. Everything has a currency. And when you don't see that, people are gonna take it for granted. And when you give that out for too cheap to people that don't know how to see your value, they're not gonna take care of it. They're not gonna care. They don't know how valuable it is. So you're getting mad at them for not seeing who you truly are. But maybe you are around the wrong people. Maybe they are not the ones that you need to be around with. Don't you get tired of never being your turn? Always being the nice one. Always saying yes, even though you don't want to say no. Because you're afraid of people just leaving you on the dust and just not loving you anymore. Don't you get tired of that? Do you think the right people that deserve your company will care if you can't make it? Are they gonna be understanding? What happens if you meet somebody exactly like you are for other people and they are like that for you? But because you're wasting your time and energy into making others become what you want them to be, you're not finding your own people. How you're gonna find your tribe, how you're gonna find your person, how you're gonna find your friends, your everything, how you're gonna track what you want if you're trying to mold everybody else into what you want them to be and nag them and beg them and do desperate things to be taken into consideration. Oh, for those who don't know, my first language is Spanish, and I've been speaking English for fluently around like 5 years or so. But still, I have a lot to learn. I've been learning, I've been watching, I've been practicing, and that's why one of the main reasons why I want this channel in English, because I want to expand my horizons. Okay, now I'm coming back from that tangent. How to stop being dumb and be used by people. The best way for you to stop being used is to keep track, keep a score. It's not resentful, it's not hurtful, it's not vengeance. No. Keep a score. Let me explain. Okay, I have a friend, and then she says that she really wants to watch this movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to watch it too. I'm gonna buy the tickets. It's for tomorrow at 5. And then this friend, the next day at 4:50, she says, oh no, I'm not gonna make it. And then you end up being by yourself, having a great time, of course, because we have to learn how to love our alone time. But also, I'm not telling you to get stuck and be like, oh my gosh, she planned, she just didn't come because she doesn't care or whatever. No, keep track. I don't know if you want to use a list. I don't know if you can remember without romanticizing and justifying the facts. Keep track of the facts. On May the 7th, my friend said 10 minutes before the movie started that she wasn't gonna go. Explanation, X, Y, and Z. And then later on, the same friend goes and says, oh yeah, let's go to the mall, let's buy some jeans. And then she's late. And then you already bought the stuff, and then she comes in like 2 hours late with some very lame excuse. Write it out. On May the 8th, me and Ed's friend were supposed to go to buy some jeans. And then she didn't show up. She showed up hours late. So what does this mean? What does this mean? She doesn't value your company. She doesn't value her word. She doesn't respect you at all. So it's up to you what to do with that information. For people in my life, I have rankings. Okay? We have tiers. And then every time they do something shady, usually the first time I just like, okay, let me see it. Just are they like this? Are they like, is this excuse valid? Is this a repeating behavior? I'm just gonna like on the lookout for the first one. Then when it's a repeated behavior, I'm like, I don't know, something's fishy here. It's a tier 1 friend, it's gonna be a tier 2 friend because she's not reliable, and I consider myself somebody very reliable. If I can't rely on you, you are not, tier 1. Yeah, you go low in the ranking. And then the shadier they get, the farthest away from you go. But if it's something very, very, very bad, like, oh yeah, I ran over your dog with your car, you are like, you can cut them off or whatever you feel comfortable with. But that's how people stop using you. You have to remember and stop justifying their behaviors, and then keep track of what they do for you as well. Like, let's say I have a friend, and it's her birthday, and then I'm very excited about her birthday, and then I make a huge cake and I plan a surprise party, and then I go through all our mutual friends and only her friends, and then just like surprise her for her birthday and buy her an amazing gift because she deserves it, and I see it as this queen and my best friend and I love her. But 2 months later it's your birthday, and this friend is late for the birthday dinner, and then she doesn't give you something that you like the levels of effort and like the difference on how to navigate. If you know this person would have loved this surprise party, if you knew that this person would have loved everybody there, and you make it happen, and you cook and you make a cake and you turn this into a whole event because you thought that this person was worth it for this effort. But then when it's your turn, this person is like, oh well, I'm here, what else do you want me to do? Keep track and lower the rank. Keep track for everything. That's what I do. I was like, okay, I remember that, great. Let's say we are with a bunch of friends, and then they're kind of snappy, like you thought you were close, and then they say some like shady stuff about you in front of everybody, or you're the bottom of the joke. But then when it's just you two, she's like, oh my god, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Can you do this? Can you do X, Y, and Z? But it's not the way that she portrays herself in front of other people. That's a red flag. Lower the ranking. If a guy ever says, well, I'm not ready for commitment. No, I'm not ready for commitment yet because I had a lot of problems in my past, and then I'm just like so scarred and I need to get over that. But like, we can still hang out, we can still hook up, and we can still do everything that boyfriend and girlfriends do. But like, it's so hard to call you a girlfriend, because what is that? What? Why are we letting anybody exploit our energy and our time like that? Why don't we think that we're valuable enough to be the girlfriend? And then why do we stay? For validation of what? Make this make sense. So this guy is telling you that they see you and they're trying you. Like, by trying you, I mean like they're doing everything that a girlfriend and boyfriend do, everything that couples do, but it's not enough. If you still there giving them the same treatment, it's not worth it. They're using you. You're just a placeholder so they can find something better. You're not it for them. You're just a process. So when you allow somebody to treat you that way, it's so hard on you, on your spirit, on your soul. How are you gonna let anybody to treat you that way? To use your body, your mind, your soul that way with that weird family member? How? Like, why do you have to drop everything to answer the calls, and what do you have to drop and plan and solve their lives? And then when it's your turn and when you need help, they're like, oh yeah, you'll figure it out. You always do. Let go, let God. Rankins. Like, let's say you just broke a leg. You're struggling. You can't get anything done in the house. It has a mess and stuff. And then the same family members that they need you all the time cannot make space to come and visit you and come and comfort you and come and just, or friends. But then somebody comes out of the blue, maybe your neighbor, maybe some other friends that you had in that lower tier, and they hear about it and they're like, oh my God, are you okay? Let me come, let me help, let me do X, Y, and Z. Pull them up, the others down. It's about discernment. If I give this person the same excuse that they are giving me, would they give me an opportunity? Would they let it go for real? I don't think so. If you caught your significant other texting others very explicit stuff, you would have been the one to go out of your way to lie, to seek something else from somebody else, and then that other person finds out, would they have the same reaction that you had? Because you had to understand, because poor thing, and they would just like let it be? I don't think so. Why are you letting them go walk all over you? Why are we the doormats? Like, let's wake up, people. Is this the reason why we came to this earth, to just suffer for some dumb stuff that we don't have to put up with? If they call you selfish, so be it. If you're selfish, if you are egotistical, if you have like, oh no, now this person believes it's all that, now this people is like, oh, I don't care. Can you imagine putting all that energy and all those things into forgiving yourself, into loving yourself, into growing for yourself, but don't deserve it? If they're proving that they're not deserving of your energy, that's it. That's all you need to know. I hope this made sense. If you like it, please like it. And if you have any comments, please let them down below. Subscribe if you want to see more. If I'm helping at least one person, I'm just going to keep doing this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, guys. And I'll see you in the next one.